Greetings, family. It's Empress D. How are you, family? I hope everybody is good. And I'm sending love and kindness and gratitude and love your way, family. All right, today we are going to talk about Candace Owens, family. Candace Owens. Now, she's a very controversial individual. If you listen to mainstream media, she is the absolute most disgusting human being on the planet. She is the worst anti-Semite ever to exist on the planet. And that's who she is if you listen to mainstream media. Now, in the melanated community, Candace Owens is often not liked as she's seen as an Uncle Tom, as a melanated woman that doesn't like herself and doesn't love herself and doesn't like melanated people, all right? Now, I am a person that tends to just I don't really go with the crowd. I try to decipher and figure out things for myself. Again, I work on I let my nervous system guide me. And to translate that, it means I let my inner knowing and my inner feelings, my intuition, let's use that term, or discernment, right? And I use that to determine truths from untruths, okay? And so I started to listen to her regularly, maybe, a few years ago. I think it was either 2022 or 2023. It was when she went out on her own. Apparently she was fired from her job and she started her own podcast. And quite recently, she's been named the #1 podcast in the entire world. Okay. Now, let me tell you what I intuitively feel about Candace Owens. A lot of people think that she is controlled opposition, which she very well might be. Because again, the world is a stage, and those that control this program, this stage, those that direct this stage, and I firmly believe them to be, in my fictional story, the Diabolicals, they control an opposition, right? They have two narratives, and that way they are able to capture everybody, right? Because in this society, you're forced and encouraged and kind of steered towards picking a side, right? That's the whole thing. You're on team blue or team red. You see what I'm saying? We know this, family. Anyway, so a lot of people think that she is controlled opposition. She's part of that other side that you got to pick, right? And you know what? She very well might be. But I think maybe she was initially, unbeknownst to her. And I think at some point she kind of realized what she was in and decided and made choices to separate. Now, I can identify with this family. I myself was in the belly of the beast, okay? And I've had to do a lot of forgiving of myself for the career that I was in and the things that I did, because I did what I thought was best at the time with the knowledge that I had. But I've since learned differently, and so I have to act differently, right? And if that could happen to me, I can appreciate that it can happen to others, such as Candace Owens, right? Now, the reason why I'm speaking about her is because I intuitively feel like she's on a divine mission. I really do. Because quite recently, family, and I don't know how many of you follow this, she's been digging deep into the Charlie Kirk murder, okay? She is going hard, family. And she is digging up all kinds of things and all kinds of information. Most recently, she posted that there has been a hit placed on her. She has found out that certain entities have ordered her death. Okay, so this is what she has posted publicly. Family. What I see from Candace Owens is I think that she's figuring out what is up. Now, I did say this. I remember saying when the Charlie Kirk whole situation first went down back in September, that I do not think that those that did it are going to get away with it. And I am still of that mindset, family, because Candace Owens will not let it rest. And in her investigation of this situation, I think she's uncovering all kinds of other truths. The other thing is that she is also doing a lot of researching and investigating and finding out a lot of truths about the world as well. Not only is she finding out these truths, but she is broadcasting the truths to millions, family. Again, as I said, she's got the most popular podcast in the world globally, family. Now, I will say this. I think that people right now on this planet, certain people are on divine assignment. I'm going to say that I, in my little corner of the world, feel like I'm on divine assignment. I haven't really spoken a lot on this channel about the current challenges and battles that I'm in, but I'm in some battles, family. And now I'm obviously a melanated woman, right? And so is Candace Owens, right? I actually also feel like I'm on divine assignment. And it's quite clear by the way that Candace Owens is operating that she feels that she's on divine assignment. The other thing, and this is just an astrological thing, is that Miss Owens and I share the same sun sign, right? And there are certain energies that come with this sun sign, and I find that we both have that kind of tenacity and inability to observe injustice without speaking up, right, family? I know that traditionally, in the paradigm that we've been living in, and I hope that this doesn't offend people watching, but the Caucasian male has always been at the top of the pyramid, okay, in terms of dominance on this planet. I actually read years ago, maybe four or 5 years ago, that the pyramid, that hierarchy, will invert, family. So traditionally, it's usually Caucasian man, Caucasian female, melanated man, melanated female, in terms of hierarchy in this present social construct. As I said, I've read, and intuitively this information resonates with me. And it's not just because I'm a melanated woman. Maybe it is because I've got some bias, but nonetheless, that inversion is set to take place. Now, only time will tell, family, because I could be wrong, and I'm okay to be wrong, right? I'm just telling you what I feel. And quite frankly, melanated women have really had a hard time on this planet. We really have. And it's time for things to change, because I think that we can all bear witness to the fact that the way that things have been going is not working. It's not working for any of us, right, family? Only a very small percentage of people benefit from the way that our societies are built right now. And change needs to happen. And I firmly believe that melanated women, if they were to be at the top of the hierarchy, the planet would function in a more harmonious way. I remember seeing a video of a South Asian man And he lived in, I think he was living in England, and he was sharing how his mama sat him and his brother down. Again, they're South Asian, Indian, from India, and his mother sat him and his brother down and said, if you are ever in trouble or lost or in trouble, and you need help, seek out a melanated woman, because she will help you, right, family? And that to me is a testimony to the fact that generally melanated women are kind and loving beings, right? And so that's my take on Candace Owens, and the fact that melanated women seem to be on assignment on this planet right now. I also say that because in my feed, on my social media feeds, it's a lot of melanated women that are on assignment. They're awake and aware to what's happening. They're on their spiritual journeys, right? And so this is just food for thought. This is just my perspective, my opinion. Family, you're so welcome to disagree, and I respect all opinions. And again, I hope this message is not received in a way that is hurtful, because it's not meant to be. Okay, family? Thank you for taking the time to listen to this message. I really appreciate those that are tuning in, family. So much is going on on the planet, and I am so happy that I decided to start this channel back in 2021. Regardless of anybody listens or not, I think that I am on purpose sharing what I am learning. All right? Again, thank you for taking the time to listen to this message. I love and I value each and every one of you, family. One love.